Alrighty, so I'm going to put a quick video together, and the idea is that we kind of wanted a tree farm for our server, and I was like, oh, what's the best tree farm I know? Well, the only one that comes to mind that I can think of is ilmango's. So I went to go over to his channel to check it out, and just by sheer luck, I guess, in the 1.13 update, of course, it's broken because for whatever reason TNT blast radius has changed. So figured we'd try and come up with a blast chamber for it, and I don't know where the idea came from, just sort of thought about it, but essentially what it came down to was trying to get it to make use of the push limit, because that seemed to be the problem that ilmango has been trying to get around with his current blast chamber, where the blocks would come in and connect, and then because they couldn't be pushed anymore they wouldn't turn into, I think it was block 36, and then they didn't have the reduced blast resistance and they wouldn't drop 100% of the time. So what I decided to do was try and make use of the push limit so that they would come in and they would stop in just the right configuration, something like this, which would then allow the TNT to drop down the center, and then you could blow it up by pushing them all from the top. So I'll set off this test chamber and hopefully it all still works. Set that there. Yeah, so there you go. You push the glass from the top at the right moment, it blows everything up. I originally wanted to have it as a 12 high block that ends up getting blown up, but problem with that was that you had to have the pistons directly exposed to the blast, and over maybe 50 trials or so you would start getting pistons breaking down the bottom. Found out from the wiki pistons have incredibly low blast resistance, so I ended up opting for covering them with a layer of endstone and making the whole cube just one lower. So yeah, it pushes down, and the thing is you have to push it back up, and the reason for it is because it has the feed in coming from the side, and so if it's feeding in here and you've got blocks going in this direction and there's blocks underneath, and now they'll be feeding in blocks over here as well, so it can push it again. When all these are in and all these are in and it tries to push it again, because you got blocks down the bottom that haven't been blown up, when it tries to push those, it's obviously not going to work because it's over the push limit and there's additional blocks down here. And when that happens, it basically just jams up the system, so we had to have pistons pushing them back up after the explosion. So anyway, once we got the blast chamber sort of figured out, went over to trying to get it to work with a feed-in, and the idea of the feed-in was to get this sort of triangular configuration happening. And what have we got for that? So it's the same blast chamber, I've just added in this redstone line to actually activate all these pistons down here at the right time. And then the feed-in comes from over here, so you've got two feeds, one on this side, one on this side, potentially up to 8 as seen over there. We'll get over that. And they come in, and then first thing they encounter is these pistons which start pushing them in, and then you've got these obsidian immovable blocks, so as they get pushed in they end up hitting these and they get put into this right or correct triangle shape. Then on the alternate push, so these push in and then these push down, and that puts it in line with this giant wall of triangle pistons here. So as it gets pushed down, these will start moving it across until it hits this block push limit, which is the 12 blocks out, or the 13 blocks out here, which is how it manages to sit in this nice triangle shape without any sort of obsidian block here stopping it. So if I get all this working, hopefully this still works too. I'm not sure. Okay, so there's the thing blowing it up. There's the pistons pushing it back up, the water source all comes in, gets pushed down that hole, and this should all start filling in. And the idea is that it fills in from the top down, so all these little blocks that end up stuck on the ledges like this should eventually get pushed into the water streams. So that'll keep filling in. The way I'm doing this is I have, and it's a bit loud, still a bit loud, but anyway, I have, this is just for testing purposes. There's an observer block that's being triggered by these two, sorry, there's a command block that's being triggered by these two observer blocks facing into each other, summoning these jungle logs here, and also powering that piston. They get pushed across, and this observer is detecting as they're getting pushed across, and every time it sees something change, powers this little delay circuit here, and that's keeping, there you go, another explosion. Anyway, that's keeping this torch off, as well as the same on this side. And this actually ends up being a bit of an AND gate. So when both those come on, it allows this to turn off. Allowing this to turn on triggers this little monostable thing and powers the whole circuit again. So while that's detecting it being able to push blocks in, it keeps it all running. Because the other thing this does, it actually shuts off the clock. That's keeping all these pistons going down here. Main thing I'd like to point out, and I'm hoping ilmango ends up watching the video and figuring out how to make this 100 times better, because I've got no expertise on redstone and making everything lag efficient and using other concepts other than just redstone. Like, he's got the rails and pistons and slime blocks and whatever. I'm sure those scicraft guys could make this millions of times better. So I haven't really attempted to make it lag efficient or what's the word? Fast, I guess. Get all the timings right, because I know whatever I do, they'll just do a million times better. So I'm just hoping they end up seeing it and maybe coming up with a concept of their own. Another thing I've noticed, I'll just switch this off. The off switch doesn't actually stop the filling process, it just stops the TNT going off. So it's actually kind of useful, because it means when you come to turn it on again, there'll be immediately just a blast to set it all off, and then it'll start filling everything in. Sorry, I'll stop shaking the camera so much. I'm going to turn off this command block span as well. What is the game rule? Command block output false. There we go. Anyway, so I figured once we finish with one, we should be able to get it all in that pattern down there and put 4 on every side. So that's where we come over to this contraption here. I tried it with glass first because I wanted to see how everything was working, and I accidentally missed like a comparator over here, so it messed up a little bit. I thought it might have been the material, so I went back to wood, and that's why I've got wood and glass all fused into each other. Obviously these corners aren't going to get hit by the explosion as much as the center, so after the initial fill-in they kind of just sit there, but I feel like they kind of need to be there to keep the whole system working. Although possibly for efficiency's sake or something, you could maybe knock off the last 2 columns, perhaps, I'm not sure. So anyway, this is essentially that, essentially that thing over there repeated 4 times on each side. Come down, collection systems, just this thing here. I'll try to turn it on, hopefully it works, but what I was noticing with this is the lag increases by a huge amount over that system over there, and I don't exactly know why. I guess it's just too much going on, too many entities, and there's the lag. Not that bad at the moment, but it seems to get progressively worse. One thing I was also noticing was the blocks popping up here. I think it's because as these wood bits converge, these giant wooden triangles converge, they end up making columns that the items get squeezed into, which then rises them up through all the blocks. they pop up on the surface. I guess one way to maybe fix that is to like move two of the sides one block back. And that should hopefully leave a one gap between every single triangle convergent area where the blocks get pushed into, fall into the water stream and collect with the rest of them. That might work. I haven't tried it. Go in here. Give myself night vision. Night vision. So here they all are, converging from the top down. Sides to the middle. That's sort of the order. So it goes top down. Sides get filled first, then the middle, because the sides don't have as much blocks to get filled in, so they go down the layers much quicker. For some reason, some of these don't go all the way to the end. I don't know what that's about. Hopefully the scicraft guys can fix that as well. I should have given myself 3600. Here's the lag. There's all the blocks. I don't know if it's the fastest thing ever, because you gotta wait for all of these blocks to come in, and then that times you'll only be filling like one at a time, but once that is over, it'll set them all off. So per TNT basis, it's getting, I think, about 1,000 blocks. So it's quite efficient on the TNT at least. I can probably find that out. Let's head back to the test chamber. Go back to creative. Do I have that in here? Nope. So we've got a hole here. If I use this to fill it back in. Gotta turn on command block output. My bad. Yep, oh god, okay, that's gonna be spamming. Didn't think this through. Turn this off. It's still going to be spamming until it fills it all in. Hopefully I can catch it. Let's see what we get. So we have the TNT, so it creates a hole. Right, now let's see if I can capture what it says. 1278. Yeah, so that first number was it filling in from here down to here. So you've got this extra layer here, which when it fills it, extra layer right at the top, when it fills it in, that's all going to be air. So that's not exactly entirely accurate. The 11's just that column down the center. And then that 162 is all the blocks that used to be at this bottom layer here where the water now is, all those get filled in with air. So that's 1278, probably minus about, what is it, 15 across? Yeah, 15 by 15, I think that's 225. So about 1,000 blocks, I'd say. That's blowing up every single time with each TNT. How many blasts did we get with that? I emptied these chests before the video, so they're all filling up. And that should be both sides. So yeah, works. All the blocks collect into the center. I'm not sure about losses or anything. I haven't done thorough testing. It's really just a conceptual or proof of concept type design. Hoping somebody can take it and make it hundreds of times better. That's the other thing, I guess you don't have to have a feed in for every single side. You could probably split a single feed into two sides and have it push in, just as long as it's going reasonably fast. Even if it's not, I guess you could just extend the delay here. The other thing that's kind of good, because you can take multiple feeds, you could probably have like 2 for cobble, 1 for birch, another for dark oak or something like that. You can split it up. And I guess if you don't want one of them running, you would probably just try and keep this torch on. So you could just put like a lever here. Oh, sorry, not the torch. You want to keep these on, so probably put a lever here. No, but that would not work the end gate, so that wouldn't work. I'm gonna keep that off. I guess you just remove the observer block or something, or just take out one of these dust. That should be fine. Yeah, as long as the signal's not getting into the delay circuit, it should be fine. And maybe a dust on this side as well. So yeah, if you want to remove a section of it, that should work. That was the other thing, you can probably split it into two sections so it's symmetrical on both sides essentially. If you can figure out a way to get the signal to only come to about here, then you can split the sides up as well. At the moment it's just got the clock powering the whole contraption. I think that covers everything regarding it. I'll probably give it a world download because I don't think I'm going to go through explaining how to build it. I'll put that in the description of the video. So I want to apologize for like the quality of the audio and my just video making skills in general. This is really first time thing, not used to doing this sort of stuff, and it's really just to get a concept across. Hopefully one of the scicraft guys see it. It was sort of intended for ilmango, but I think it's a little too hopeful, thinking that he'll end up watching it. But yeah, hopefully someone sees it and makes something with it, makes it better. Aside from the lag that occurs when all the item entities spawn in when you set off the explosion, it's not too bad, but yeah, I'm guessing someone can come back here and remove like all this redstone dust, and that'll help a lot with like lighting updates and such. And then, I don't know, as for the entity count, it's kind of necessary because that's just how much it blows up. It basically makes use of the entire TNT blast range, so I'm not sure of a way around that. Somebody can figure that one out, then good on them. I guess you could just make it kill less, like you only make it half as high or something, but you got a problem with this end stone here getting too close to the TNT. If it gets too close, then it'll blow up the end stone and then the whole system probably won't work. So yeah, I guess I'll call it quits. Again, apologies for the video quality, the audio quality, lack of scripting. I just wanted to get a video out there. Thanks for watching. Don't subscribe, don't like. I'm not a channel. Just enjoy the concept, make use of it if you want, and make it better. And thank you, ilmango, for your tree farm, and thanks for, I don't know, inspiring or encouraging this, because it probably wouldn't have happened unless I was wanting to build your tree farm. But yeah, I'm hoping something can kind of make it a lot better. Thanks for watching. See ya.